Never talk to me, I will weep.
Do, I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire. Therefore weep.
His hair is of a very dissembling color.
Something browner than Judas's. Marry, his kisses are Judas's own children.
I faith his hair is of a good color.
Oh, an excellent color. Your chestnut was ever the only color.
And his kissing is as full of the sanctity as the touch of holy bread.
He hath bought a pair of cast lips of Diana, a nun of which your sisterhood kisses not more religiously. The very ice of chastity is in them.
But why would he swear he would come this morning, and yet comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think he is not a pick-purse, nor a horse-stealer, but for his verity and love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he's not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was, not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was, and I told him of as good as he. And so he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely, quite traverse athwart the heart of his lover, as a puny tilter that spurs his horse, but on one side breaks his staff like a noble goose. But all's brave that youth mounts and folly guides. Who comes here?
Mistress and master, you have often inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, who you saw sitting by me on the turf, praising the proud and disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress?
Well, and what of him?
If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little, and I shall conduct you, if you will mark it.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love. Bring us to this sight, and you shall say I'll prove a busy actor in their play.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me, do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the custom's flight of death makes hard, falls not to axe upon the humble neck. The first begs pardon. Will you sooner be them that he buys and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty sure, and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things, who shut their coward gates on enemies, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now, I do frown on thee with all mine heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit to swoon. Why not fall down? Or, if thou canst not, oh, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now, show the wound mine eye hath made to thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean upon a rush, the cicatrice incapable in pressure thy palm some moment keeps. But now, mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor, I am sure, there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as it ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why not, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult and exalt and all at once over the wretched? What the So you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without a candle may go dark to bed. Why must you therefore be proud and pitiless? What means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's sail work. My little life, I think she means to tangle mine eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can attain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her, like foggy south puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she is a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her. And out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heavens fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well.
Sweet you, that you tried years together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your Phyllis, and she'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, as fast as she answers thee with frowning looks, I'll sauce her with bitter words. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made of wine. Besides, I like you not. If you will know my house, 'tis at the tuft of olives here hard by. Will you go, sister? Shepherd, ply her hand. Come, sister. Shepherdess, look on him better, and be not proud. Though all the world could see, none could be so abused in sight as he. Come to our flock.
Dear shepherd, now I find I saw of might. Whoever loved and loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe,
Ha, what sayest thou, Silvius?
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for you, gentle Silvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love your sorrow and my grief, we're both extermined.
Thou hast my love, is that not neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, that I shall think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man that the main harvest reaps, loose now, and then a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Know'st thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he hath bought the cottage and the bound that the old carlet once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy. Yet he talks so well. What care I for words? Yet words do well, that when he speaks them, pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. He's not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so-so, and yet 'tis well. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Silvius, had they put him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said my eyes were black and my hair black. Now I remember, scorned at me. And marvel why I answer not again. That's all one. Mittens is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Silvius.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these, but is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler. By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own land to see other men's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience make me sad, and to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Mr. Traveler. Look you lisp and wear strange suits, disable all the benefits of your own country, be out of love with your nativity, and almost chide God for making you the countenance you are, or I will scarce think you have swam in a gondola. How now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover? And you served such another trick, never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love? He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break out of a part of the 1,000th part of a minute in the affairs of love, it may be said of him that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder, and I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail.
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head, and a better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns, which such as you are fain to be beholding to your wives for. But he comes armed in his fortune and prevents the slander of his wife.
Virtue is no hornmaker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
Oh, it pleases him to call you so, but he hath the Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor, and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now if I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators, when they are out, they will spit. For lovers lacking, God warn us, matter the cleanest shift is to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter.
Who could be out, being before his beloved mistress?
Marry, that should you if I were your mistress, or I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What if my suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her presence I say, I will not have you.
Then, in mine own person, I die.
No, Faith, die by attorney. The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time there was not any man died in his own person. Vilice in a love cause. Troilus had his brains dashed out with a Grecian club, yet he did what he could to die before, and he is one of the patterns of love. Leander! He would have lived many a fair year, though Hero had turned none, if it had not been for a hot midsummer night. For, good youth, he went but forth to wash him in the Hellespont, and, being taken with a cramp, was drowned. And the foolish chroniclers of that age found it was Hero of Cestus. But these are all lies. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my Lady Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I am 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I should hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why now, as fast as she can marry us.
And you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for a wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. There's a girl goes before the priest, and certainly a woman's thought runs before her actions.
So do all thoughts. They are winged.
Now, tell me, how long would you have her after you've possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. You know, Orlando, men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over his head, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, like Diana in the fountain, and I will do that when you are disposed to be merry. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
On my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she could not have the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and it will out the casement. Shut that, and 'twill twill out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with smoke out of the chimney.
A man that had such a wife with such a wit, he might say, "Wit whither wilt?"
Hey, you might keep that check for till you met your wife's wit going to your neighbor's bed.
Oh, and what wit could wit have to excuse that?
Mary, to say she came to seek you there. You shall never take her without her answer, unless you take her without her tongue. Oh, that woman cannot make her fault her husband's occasion. Let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I will be with thee again.
Go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as such, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away, and so, come, death, 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth and in good earnest, and so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break one jot of your promise or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, the most hollow lover, the most unworthy of her that you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So, adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenders, and let time try. Adieu!
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz. Be thou it does know how many fathom deep I am in love, but it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection, it runs out.
No, that same wicked bastard of Venus that was begot of thought, conceived of spleen, and born of madness, that blind rascally boy that abuses everyone's eyes because his own are out, let him be a judge of how deep I am in love. I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Which is he that killed the deer?
Sir, it was I.
Let's present him to the Duke like a Roman conqueror, and it would do well to set the deer's horns upon his head for a branch of victory. Have you no song, Forester, for this purpose?
Yes, sir.
Sing it. 'Tis no matter how it be in tune, so it make noise enough.
Make shall he have that killed the deer his leather skin and horns to wear, then sing him home. The rest shall bear this burden. Thou take no scorn to wear the horn, it was a crest ere thou wast born. Thy father's father wore it, and thy father bore it. The horn, the lusty horn, is not a thing to laugh to scorn.
How say you now, is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando.
I warrant you with pure love and troubled brain, he hath taken his bow and arrows and has gone forth to sleep. Oh, look who comes here.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe did bid me to give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and wappish action which he did use when he was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, bear all. She says that I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and that she could not love me were men as rare as Phoenix. Odds my will, her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come, you are a fool, and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention, and his hand.
Sure it is hers.
It is a boisterous and cruel style, a style for challengers. Woman's gentle brain could not drop forth such giant rude invention. Will you hear the letter?
So please you, for I've never heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Called you this railing?
Why, thy Godhead laid apart, warrest thou with a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? What as the eye of man did woo me, that could no vengeance to me, meaning me, a beast. If the scorn of love of your bright arm have power to rise such a love in mine, alike in me what strange effect would they work in mild aspect? Whiles you chide in me I did love, how then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee little knows his love in me, and by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind with a faithful offer I take of me, and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how I die.
Called you this?
Oh, alas, poor shepherd.
Did you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? What, to make thee an instrument and play false strains upon me? Not to be endured. Oh, go your way to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake, and say this to her, that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word, and here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where the pearliest of this forest stands, a sheepcote fenced in about the olive trees?
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, the rank of osiers by the murmuring stream, left on your right hand brings you to the place. But at this hour the house doth keep itself. There's none within.
If that an eye may profit from a tongue, then I should know you by description. Such garments, such years, and the boy is fair of female favor, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman low and browner than her brother. Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both. And that youth he calls his Rosalind? He sends his bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
Well, when the last young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again. Within the hour, in pacing through the forest, chewing on the sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell him. He threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself? Under an old oak tree, whose broad's mossed with age, a high top bolded with dry antiquity, as wrenched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. Under which bush's shade a lioness, udders all drawn dry, lay crouching, head on the ground, with cat-like watch when the man was sleeping, should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of a man's beast, of that beast, to prey on nothing doth seem dead. Orlando did approach the man, and he found it was his eldest brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And, well, he might do so, for as well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food to the sucked and hungry lioness?
Twice did he turn his back, in purpose so, but the kindness, nobler than revenge, and the nature, stronger than just the occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurling from miserable slumber, I awakened.
Are you his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was it you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, and 'tis not. I do shame to tell you what I was, but since my conversion so sweetly tastes, I being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, when from the first to the last betwixt the two, tears of reencountments had most kindly bathed, how I came into that desert place. In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me a fresh array of entertainment, committing me into my brother's love, who led me instantly into his care. These stripped himself where lay upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all while he had bled, and now fainted, cried fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, and being strong at heart, he sent hither. Stranger as I am to tell this story, you might excuse his broken promise, and to give you this napkin, dyed in his blood, shepherd youth, both sport doth call his Rosalind.
Why, how now? Ganymede, sweet Ganymede!
Many swoon when they look upon blood.
There's more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
We'll lead you thither.
Be good cheer. Youth, you a man? You lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. Sirrah, a body would think this was a well counterfeited. I pray you tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho.
This was not counterfeit. There is too great of testimony in your complexion. It was passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well, take then, and take good heart, and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do, but in faith I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That I will. I must bear answer back to how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, and that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant? And will you persever to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the sudden poverty of her small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me, consenting with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, for my father's house and all of the revenue that was old Sir Rollins, I will instate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent, lest your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you, and prepare Aliena, for look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me so to see that thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know what you are. Nay, 'tis true. There was never anything so sudden but the fight of 2 rams and Caesar's Thracionical bride, where I came, I saw, I overcame. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees they have made a pair of stairs to marriage, which they will climb in content, or else be in content before marriage. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more shall I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness, by how much I shall think my brother happy in having what he wishes for.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot so return for Rosalind?
I can no longer live by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I will speak with some purpose, that I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. I speak not this that you should bear a good opinion of my knowledge, insomuch I say I know you are. Neither do I labor for greater esteem than may in some little measure draw belief from you, or do yourself good and not disgrace me. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3-year-old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art, yet not damnable. If you do love Rosalind, so near the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into the straits what fortune she has driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meetings?
My life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore put on your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Youth, you have done me much ungentilness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him. He worships you.
words, shepherd. Tell the youth what it is to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears, and so I am for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so I am for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be made of all fantasy, all made of passion and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance, and so I am for Phoebe.
So I am for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
How do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well, I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I will.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear.
Patience once more while as our compact is urged. You say, if I bring your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her.
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
You'll say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That I will, should I die the hour after.
But if you refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say that you'll have Phoebe if she will.
So to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter, you yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Sylvius, that you'll marry her if she refuse me. And from hence I go to make these doubts all even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, methought he was a brother to your daughter. But, my good lord, this boy is forest-born, and hath been tutored in the rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle, whom he reports to be a great magician, obscured in the circle of this forest.
There is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greeting to you all.
Good, my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman that I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure, I have flattered a lady, I have been politic with my friend, smooth with mine enemy, I have undone 3 tailors, and I have had 4 quarrels, the like to have fought 1.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
How 7th cause? Good, my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
God ild you, sir. I desire you of the like. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear, according to the marriage binds and blood breaks, a poor virgin, sir, and an ill-favored thing, sir, but mine own, a poor humor of mine, sir, to take that no man else will. Rich honesty dwells like a miser, sir, in the poor house, as your pearl in your foul oyster.
By my faith, he is very swift and sententious.
According to the fool's bolt, sir, and such delicate diseases.
But for the seventh cause, how did you find the quarrel on the seventh cause?
Upon a lie 7 times removed. As thus, sir, I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. He sent me word, if I said his beard was not cut well, he was in the mind it was. This was called the retort courteous. If I sent him word again, it was not well cut, he would send me word he cut it to please himself. This is called the quip modest. If it again was not well cut, he disabled my judgment. This is called the reply curlish. If again it was not well cut, he would answer, I spake not true. This is called the reproof valiant. If again it was not well cut, he would say, I lie. This is called the counter-check quarrelsome, and so too the circumstantial and the lie direct.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
I durst go no further than the lie circumstantial, nor he durst not give me the lie direct, and so we measured our swords and parted.
Can you nominate in order now the degrees of the lie?
Oh, sir, we quarreled in print, by the book. As you have books for good manners, I will name you the degrees. The first, the retort courteous. The second, the quip modest. The third, the reply churlish. The fourth, the reproof valiant. The fifth, the counter-check quarrelsome. The sixth, the lie circumstantial. The seventh, the lie direct. And all these you may avoid, but the lie direct. And you may avoid that too with an if. I knew if 7 justices could not take up a quarrel, but when the parties were met themselves, one of them thought of an if. As if you said so, then I said so. And they shook hands and swore brothers. Your if is the only peacemaker, much virtue in if.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good as anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that he shoots his wit.
Then is there mirth in heaven when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love adieu!
I'll have no father if you not be he. I'll have no husband if you not be he, nor wed women if you not be she.
Peace ho, I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here's A to join in Hymen's band. If truth holds true contents, you and you no cross shall part. You and you are heart and heart. You to his love must accord. You and you are sure together as the winter to foul weather. While we a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that the reason wonder with may diminish, how thus we meet and these things finish.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine, thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
Let me have an audience for a word or two. I'm the second son of Sir Rowland, that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hear how that every day, man of great worth, resorted to this war, addressed a mighty power, which were on foot, in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here, and put him to the word, and to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted both from his enterprise and from this world. His crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again, that were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one his lands withheld, and to the other a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. First, in this forest, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. And after, every of this happy number that have endured shrewd days and nights with us shall share the good of our returned fortune, according to the measure of their states. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity, and fall into our rustic revelry. Play music, and you brides and bridegrooms all, with measure helped enjoy and the measured fall.
Sir, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court?
He hath.
To him I will. Out of these controversies there is much matter to be heard and learned. You to your former honor I bequeath, your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You to a love your true faith doth merit. You to your land and love and great allies. You to a long and well-deserved bed. And you to wrangling for thy loving voyage. Is but for 2 months vitrioled. So to your pleasures. I am for other than dancing measures.
Stay, Jacques, stay.
To see no pastime I. What you would have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We'll begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by the help of good epilogues. What a case am I, then, that I am neither a good epilogue, nor can insinuate with you in the behalf of a good play? I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that please me, complexions that like me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many as have good beards or good faces or sweet breaths will, for my kind offer when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.